Okay, today we're going to tie a slump buster. First, if you like fly tying videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and let's get started. I'm going to start off with an Allen fly fishing S403 size 6. That's just a 3x long, extra long streamer hook. And this is an Allen fly fishing brass cone head and 5.5 millimeter. So I'm going to start off with some lead-free wire. This is 020, whatever size works really, because you're just going to get some good wraps on there. Kind of seek the bead a little bit. I know this bead is probably slightly big for this hook, but that's all right with all of the pine squirrel zonker on here. Everything will be just fine. For the thread, I'm using some 10-aught Veevus in black. That's just what I have here. Probably would be, 70 denier in black would probably be better. Cover things up quicker and whatnot, but this is what I have on the vise right now. And looks like I need to order some thicker black thread. But just coat this hook. Doesn't have to be perfect. All this will get covered up. And then we'll get our copper wire, Brassie size copper wire. It's a nice fly for beginners. Your thread wraps don't really matter too much. All right. Back here was where you tied that in. Here's where I'm going to get that pine squirrel. This is an olive. Just a nice thin zonker strip. Give yourself a little bit extra in the front, and then just get those hair and move it out so that you can just get the leather. Tie that down back here at the back. Sometimes it helps to wet the fibers. And then you can pull that forward or pull it back. Advance your thread all the way to the front. Keep that stuff out of the way because our next material is going to be some flat diamond braid here in gold. Save material. I just kind of pull the whole thing out and just tie in the tip of the whole thing. Just going to tie it in right there. Hopefully all that stuff stays out of the way. We're just going to make nice flat wraps. All the way back. Don't really need a taper. You definitely don't want a reverse taper. One thing when you do it like this and have the whole thing there, you do have to be aware that you're kind of wrapping it all around your bobbin and all kinds of things. So just keep everything under control. Get back here to the back, and then just bring it back forward. We'll build up a nice Nice body on this. To hold this up at the top. Makes it easier to not cut your thread. And you're trimming out that diamond braid. It's good and lash down. Here I like to make sure all that is back like that, and all those fibers are heading back, and then tie in that front part here. And then we're going to wrap our wire through this. So I like to get this fur nice and wet. I just kind of lick my fingers and go with it. So this helps with this wire. I can kind of separate down to just the leather. So I can get nice wraps without trapping and pulling. I see like there, it wants to pull that hair down to the side. And we don't want that. We want to keep that hair on top as best we can. So wrapping just to the leather really helps that. We just want to give ourselves nice places to pull this wire through. Just take your time. Keep that wire nice and in the front. So you get it all the way up. And you can trap it with your thread. Here's where then I like to come in, reach in and cut out that tag. Now I can helicopter this out. It'll cooperate here. There we go. Make sure it's good and pokey part there. All right. You know, here's a good time to trim this. I'd like to go about a hook length, about right there. And you just pull that, make those fibers out of the way. You don't want to trim those fibers. You just want to trim the leather. That lets those fibers kind of taper off, give it a nice taper to the fly. So here is where you can do a couple things. You can just tie in another strip and just wrap it. That works great. I've done that a lot. Or here I'm going to try, since I just got one of these, using one of these, the Swiss CDC tool and a dubbing spinner. This spinner really spins nice. It's really fun to use. So we're going to see how this works. I've only Only used it on this fly once before, and I don't know, it seemed to work fine. Once we get this loop all ready, this fur in here. Spin that up. You can see that really spins really well. I end up having to use a hackle pliers just because the camera's in the way, but you don't have to. You can use this to spin this around. I like to wet my fingers to try to control this. Then just want to get this tied off really well. Nice tight wraps behind and in front. Don't want this going anywhere. There we go. Trim that out. Make sure we got it nice and secure there. Kind of bring out any loose fibers. And then we can just whip finish. With this fly, there's enough room here, you can do a couple 3 or 4 turn whip finishes. You'll never have to worry about this. And that's Slump Buster. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, drop a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.